Hi everybody, welcome back to another episode of Life with Marion and Joe. Thanks for stopping by today to see what I am going to be up to. And I'm continuing with my preparation for my spring and Easter decor. And as I discussed in the last video, I'm not doing anything whimsical this year. I'm trying to do a more adult looking Easter, especially Easter and spring. And I'm going to put a little bit of the woodland flair in there. But today what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be using plastic eggs from the dollar store to make what I think is a high-end kind of looking decorative egg. And I think you could leave it out for other times of the year, not only for the spring and the Easter. So it's, like I said, I'll be using plastic eggs and some picks from the Dollar Tree as well. And I'll talk you through it. It's not really hard to do. It's just a little time consuming. So I hope you enjoy it. Let me know in the comments below. And, you know, I love hearing from you and seeing all you guys. And if you just stumbled on me, please consider subscribing. It's free. You just have to press the subscribe button and then put the notification bell on so you don't miss anything that I'm up to. And a thumbs up always helps. It lets more people see my channel and it really helps me out. Okay, everybody, so stay tuned for this little video. All right, so here are the things that you're going to need to do this project. You're going to need a tiny little piece of cardboard, okay? You're going to need one of these marbleized stones from the Dollar Tree, the flat edge like that, okay? You're going to need an egg. And I have this plastic egg, and I'm lucky it does not have the horizontal line in it. These were from the Dollar Zone, and they had like a covering on it, and I just cut the covering off. It does have this vertical line, but you're not even going to see that, so I'm not going to worry about that. So if you can find an egg, even the styrofoam ones, preferably without that line, okay? Then you're going to need some twine, like this. You're going to need, obviously, paints, acrylics, your choice, whatever kind of color you want. And you're going to need a pick of flowers, again, your choice. And I'm going to also use spackling paste in this project. And again, when I get to that part, I'll tell you, you can delete that part if you would like, or you could do what I'm going to do. Okay, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to use my hot glue gun. I'm going to put the little stone here on the cardboard, and then I'm going to hot glue the egg to that stone. It'll give it weight for it to sit. All right, so I glued that stone to the cardboard, the flat side down. Next, I'm going to glue the egg on there. Okay, so you can see I glued the fat part of the egg onto the stone. And I'm going to reinforce it with a little bit more glue once this little bit of glue dries. The next thing I'm going to do is I cut 3 pieces of twine. And since I'm going to paint my egg this color, this sage kind of a green, I want those strings to be a little bit darker because they're going to look like when the plant first starts growing and it sends up that first, little twiggy thing. And I'm going to make a little bit darker. I'm going to add black, touch of black to that green to make it a little bit darker. All right, so I painted the 3 of them. It's like an olive green. It almost looks black here, but it's an olive green. And I'm going to set them aside to dry. Next, I'm going to take some white and green, and I'm going to make a pale green. And then paint my egg. Okay, so I painted it very pale. And again, it looks even lighter in the video, but it's a very pale sage green. All right, so the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to need 5 leaves and 5 flowers. So, again, it's up to you. You can do whatever you want. So I'm just cutting the leaves off like this. 2, 3, 4, and 5. And I need 5 flowers. So here we go. 1, and this one, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, so I'm going to do this. I have so much stuff back here. Okay. Next, now this is the thing that you can do or you don't have to do. I'm going to use this DAP spackling, and I'm going to paint it onto the flowers and onto the leaves. Now, why am I doing that? I'm doing that because I want this to look like it's ceramic when it's done. So if you don't want to do that, you can skip that part and just use the leaves and the flowers as is. So I'm going for a ceramic looking piece. So I need to paint these, and I need to get something to put down here because it's going to make. All right, so this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to start with a leaf like this, and I'm just going to use a paintbrush, and I'm going to use my spackling paste, and I'm actually going to paint it on like this. Okay, now I am not going to paint. I'm not going to spackle the bottom of the leaves. I'm just spackling the top. And the reason for that is because if you do the top and the bottom, it's going to get too brittle. And you don't want that to happen because this will crack, you know. So, well, I'll tell you now, but then I'll show you what I'm going to do. After I get done with this and this dries, then I put Mod Podge on it to try to stop it from crackling off. It's, you know, it's kind of temperamental. Plus, when I get done with the whole thing, I'm going to polyurethane everything to ensure that it kind of like gets glued down, because I don't want it cracking, because we know that spackle does that. It wants to be solid, and here we're working on a very, you know, soft kind of a surface. So this is how you do the leaves, and I'm only doing the top of the leaves. And then you do the same thing for the flowers, okay? It's a little bit more difficult because they're a little bit more delicate. Now the flowers, again, see, I'm going into the inside, and I'm just putting on what I can on each one of the petals, okay? Okay, so you see that? All right, so I'm going to cut away now because you don't need to see me do that on all of these leaves and whatnot, okay? So again, just like this. And on the flowers, I am going to do the backs. See, look, I put too much on there. Don't do that. Don't, because I'm yapping away. Okay, don't put too much on. All right, so I went ahead and I painted these, well, the initial paint anyway, that sage green. I made it a little bit deeper than the egg, so you can see here's the egg color here. So it's slightly deeper. I'm going to add to it. And I also went in and I put a mixture of purple and white onto the flowers, and I'm gonna have to add to this. It's not, you know, it doesn't get done in 1 second. It takes a little bit of manipulation, so I'll try to walk you through that as I do it. But you can see what happens. You get a lot of this kind of stuff because of the spackling paste, you know. So I'll try to cover it up, but remember, again, I'm going for a kind of a ceramic kind of a look. So I added a little bit of dimension to them. I added in a little bit of different shades of green. I just mixed some less with white, some more with white, some with a little touch of black, as well as in the flowers. I added white, you know, in the center, and then I took some more of the darker purple, and I just, you know, pulled it through just to give it a little bit of dimension. Again, you know, you work with whatever colors you want. You could have just left it the way they were, too, like I said. Okay, so it's time to start assembling, and we're going to start with the leaves around the base first. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put some hot glue on the bottom of my leaf here. My glue gun is acting up. And I'm going to put some glue here on this piece of cardboard as well. All right, so now what I want to do is I'm going to stick the leaf on the bottom of this. I'm going to press it down to make sure that the hot glue takes. Okay, the leaf right now is stiff because of the spackling. All All right, so you just have to push a little bit. Again, now remember what I said to you. If you want to skip this this spackling part, you can do that. You don't have to, keep it. All right, so I have one leaf right there. Now I'm going to put another one here. And I think I'm going to cut into this a little bit, only because I wanted to hug that base that I put in there a little bit better. Okay, and this piece was a little bit too tight. My scissors are shot because I used them to cut floral wire. And all right, so now I'm going to put this one in same way. I'm going to put hot glue on the bottom here, okay, and I want to put some hot glue here as well on my piece of cardboard that I have under there, and I'm going to, ouch, just get burnt, and there you go. Now I have two pieces like this, okay, you see? I'm going to do it like a triangle, right? And the third one I'm going to put back here like that. And once again, I fit it and I see that it's not going to fit snug, so I want to cut a piece of this off right here. Okay, let me get that on and I'll come right back. Okay, so as you can see, I have my 3 leaves now around my egg. So now what I'm going to do is, remember I cut 5. So now what I'm going to do with this one is I'm going to make it look like it's up like this, because we want the egg to be looking like it's growing out of this plant here. Okay, so I put the glue on the top of this leaf now, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to come in here and I'm going to just press it in, and I'm going to put a little bit more on the bottom, just so that it holds from the top and the bottom, because I want the leaf on an upswing like this. Can you see? Like this. Okay, so let's hold that one a second. Okay, and then I have my other leaf, and I'm going to do the same thing with that one. I'm going to kind of put it up like this. Okay, whoops. Okay, so look at that. Okay, kind of almost looks like a cabbage, right? And the egg growing out of the cabbage. Okay, now I do have to paint the bottom of these right here, which I'm going to do right now, and then we'll go to the next step. Next, we'll attach the flowers, and what I actually did was I kind of laid out a pattern how I want it to be on my egg. All right, so what I'm going to do is, let's start here first. I have to cut these little bottom parts off so that it lays flatter. Okay, see, I cut that bottom off, and now I'm going to put my hot glue on here, and I'm going to start right here. Okay, and I'm going to put a little bit on this leaf just so it holds better. Okay, next is this one. Ouch. Wow. Okay. Okay. See, so you could do, any kind of design that you like, or as many flowers as you like, or as little flowers as you like. It's up to you. This is where your artistic part comes in, so that you you make it just the way you want it to be. You know, this is what I like. And okay, my last one, I'm going to put just up here in it like a different direction like this. Just have to find the right side. Kind of like that, that's it. Without getting too burnt. Okay. I want this petal here. All right, like that. Okay, I'll be right back. Okay, next what you want to do is remember the strings that we did before. So what you want to do now is you want these to kind of look like little sprouts coming up on, you know, on the sides of the plant. So what I'm doing is I'm just kind of like twisting it around like this, right? Make it like a little circle here. And I'm putting some Mod Podge on it to just stiffen it up and hold it together a little bit. Hey, did you ever notice the Mod Podge from the Dollar Tree really smells? Don't smell good. I'm also putting a drop of hot glue here because it's a little stiff and it's not holding. Okay. And one more I have to do. Okay, so all you do is you twist this like this, right? And it'll look like a little sprout coming up. All right, so what you want to do is you want to put some Mod Podge on here, on your egg, okay? Like this, all right? And then you want to get your sprout on here, okay? And I'm gonna put them in here, like this. Now, believe it or not, this is like one of the hardest parts, these little sprouts here. Okay, I'm gonna stick them in here, and now I'm going to make sure he sticks. I have a multitude of glue on my brush, which is not good. Okay, sorry, I know you can't see what I'm doing. Okay, so I'm putting glue on here. I put glue on the egg, and I want to twist it so that it looks like it's curling. Okay, and I want to hide the base of this underneath this flower here. So I want to put some more glue here. And I just put a dab of hot glue as well. Okay, so there's the first one right there. Now I want to put another one, I think, right in here, like that. Okay, which means I need more glue. And stick them on. Okay, I'll get the third one on because I don't want to bore you. Oops. All right, so the next thing you want to do is you just want to go in here and do some shading. See, so I'm just going straight in with this, it's a little bit darker paint here. Can you see what I'm doing? And I'm just going in near these little sprouts that I put in just to highlight them a little bit, give them, you know, you want the egg to have a little bit more dimension. Okay. In here. There, I'm going to put some in there. Okay. All right, and here you go. Here is the final product. I just touched up a little bit more on those flowers, and I put polyurethane on to seal my work that I've done. And like I said, I tried to make them look a little bit more ceramic kind of looking or glass-like looking. I used a satin finish polyurethane. You could use a high gloss and then it would really look like glass. Or like I said, you didn't have to do all that extra work of using the spackling paste. You could have just glued the flowers and the leaves right on without doing all of that extra, going that extra mile. But I thought, this is the look I wanted, and for the first time that I've done it, I think they came out pretty good. And those are those PVC pipe wood tree trunks that I made that they're sitting on right now. Okay, everybody, thank you so much for stopping by. Like I said, drop me a comment. I love hearing from you. Give me a thumbs up. It really helps me out. And I'll be putting up another video soon. I'm going to try to make more of these decorative eggs that look like they have been carved out of wood. Okay, everybody, stay tuned, stay safe, and have a good one. Bye-bye.